everybody. It's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com, and I am excited to be back with you with a brand new video in my masterclass for October 2021. During this month, we're going to talk about the upcoming holidays and ways you can give the gift of hand-stamped cards to your friends and family. Guys, hand-stamped cards are such a fantastic gift. One, it's a piece of us, right? It's a piece of art. And I find that people truly appreciate the gift of those cards because it's something they can really use. And of course, they know that it was made for your own little hands. And we love that. So we're going to start the series with this gorgeous project. You know, packaging up cards for holiday gifts does not have to be time consuming. This fun little DIY project can be made up in no time. And you notice there's a lot of cards in there. Yep, there are 8 cards that you can give with this project. It's going to be a really fun and quick project I'm excited to share with you. So let's get started. The first thing we want to talk about is the supplies that you need to create the gift box and the 8 cards. So this collection was done with the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper, which I will tell you, I love because I love it's a specialty paper. Can you see that great shine that's built in, that great foil? But for today's video, let's go ahead and shake it up. I'm going to bring in some Designer Series paper from Hand Penned. I love this pattern. And you're going to need a sheet of 12 by 12 in order to make the box and the 8 cards. And the cards themselves are actually the Stampin' Up! Note cards and envelopes. What I love about this, everything's all in one. You get the cards, they are scored, and you get the envelopes as well. There's 20 in a pack. We're going to need 8 of those. We're going to want some layering cardstock. I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia. I think this is such a pretty shade of purple. I have 8 squares here. They are all the same size, 3 inches by 3 inches. I have 2 more pieces here. This is a little insert for a box. So this could be any color, but I thought it went well with my Designer Series paper. And this piece is 1 3/4 by 4 inches. This is actually my little tag that's going to go on the front. And this is 3/4 of an inch by 2.5 inches. Now I'm going to need one more piece, and that is a little piece of basic white, and that is 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/4 of an inch. And guys, that's really all that we need. Well, I say that's all. There is one more thing. You're going to want some ribbon. How do you want to tie up your package? I love this ribbon. This is Stampin' Up's metallic mesh ribbon, and I just thought it looked so pretty up against those tones of purple. So I have 24 inches of that. Now, if you're not using this ribbon, you choose your favorite ribbon that matches your Designer Series paper, 24 inches. All right, we are going to get to cutting into that Designer Series paper. So the first thing you want to look at is the pattern in your Designer Series paper. So when you're going to create the box, we want to decide what is landscape. So for this pattern, you see my flowers are moving upwards. I'm going to cut 4 inches by 12 inches off of here because I want to go landscape. So that's very important if you're dealing with any sort of pattern. So I want to rotate my Designer Series paper around again so that I make sure I am cutting landscape, and we need 4 inches. All right. I'm going to set this off to the side for just a second because I want to go ahead and get everything cut. So what I have left over, I need to cut down into 2 3/4 of an inch squares. And we're going to need 8 of those. So there's 2 3/4. Here's another 2 3/4. And by the way, because it is square, it doesn't matter the direction of my Designer Series paper. Now, you're going to notice this last piece, it's 2.5 inches. So we're going to save that for another project. But did you know with Stampin' Up's paper trimmer, I can put these 2 pieces together and I can cut them down into, look at that, I cut 2 at one time. So that's going to make it go nice and fast. I'm going to get 4 of these, actually 8. I'm going to cut 4 times, and we'll cut these down into 2 3/4 inch squares. And those are the pieces we're going to use on our cards. Let me set those aside so I can share with you how to score this 4 by 12 inch Designer Series paper into that cute box. Okay, so for our scoring, the first thing we want to do is let's make sure that cutting blade is out of the way. We are not cutting, we are scoring. Let's make sure we're using that lighter blade. That is your scoring blade. So the first thing we want to do is we need to score 1 inch. Now, this is the bottom of the box. So again, you're going to want to look at your pattern to decide where the bottom of your box is. So I can see again that my flowers are moving this way. So here's the bottom. And I'm going to put this into my paper trimmer, and there's a 1 inch score line or a 1 inch mark right there that I can score. So we're going to give that a score. That's our first one. So now we're going to rotate that designer series paper around. You notice I have swung out my arm because we're going to need some extra length there for our scoring. We are going to score this at 4 inches, 5 3/4 of an inch, 9 3/4 of an inch, and our last measurement is 11 1/2 inches. Now here on the end where I have that 1/2 inch measurement, we want to take out this little tiny notch right here. You're going to see you're going to have this little 1/2 by 1 inch little rectangle. You're going to be able to see that on the score lines. And we need to go ahead and take that out. Now, the next thing we want to cut are along these score lines that we have here. There's 3 of them. And I know it is very difficult to see on camera, but hopefully when you have this in front of you, you're going to be just fine. And we're just going to score or cut, I'm sorry, we're going to cut up on those score lines. So can you see those little flaps there? All right, now we want to give all of this a really nice crease with our bone folder. So we're going to take all of our score lines, make sure we get them all, and we want to give them a nice crease. Okay, everything has been creased. Now, this is the one that had the flap, okay? Remember the little 1/2 inch flap? I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to put some adhesive here, and I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus for this. So it's just a very nice, strong adhesive, and guess what? It's the exact same size, this about 1/2 inch. And so let's lay that all the way down. You just want to make sure you're not going past the score line. And here's my favorite tip to make sure this is going to line up. I'm leaving this down flat, and I'm going to bring this end around. And do you see how they just match up perfect? Yeah. So there's no second guessing, no trying to get in there and make sure it's set just right. Now I'm going to go ahead and kind of give this a fold this way and this way. So you can see how my box is starting to come together. I'm going to bring the 2 smaller flaps in, and then I'm going to bring these in. Now, I've got to get some adhesive on here. So I'm just going to lay this flat here, and I'm going to come along and let me add some Stampin' Seal Plus right down this end. Now, when you lay this piece down, it doesn't have a lot to grip onto, but don't worry, we're going to fix that. But you can see it did kind of hold it in place for just a minute. I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to give this a little press on the inside, and there, now that's kind of secure, but it's not enough. That is where this little 1 3/4 by 4 inch piece is going to come into play. You can adhere it, but honestly, it just needs to sit in there. It's not going anywhere. And there's adhesive that's kind of showing. If you'll bring your bone folder in and give that a little press, it's not coming out. So that's really all you need to do. There is our box. Now we're going to decorate it up here in just a minute, but first I want to go ahead and create the cards that are going to go inside. So let's bring in all of those fresh Freesia squares and then all of our designer series paper squares. And it couldn't be any easier. We are going to adhere all of these together. All right, so give me just a minute. I'm going to get all of these adhered down for you. Hey friends, just a reminder, if you have missed any of the measurements for creating the box or the cards, you'll find those over at simplysimplestamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description. I've got a direct link that will take you to today's post. All the measurements are there waiting for you. And if you need to order any of the supplies, you can do that right there as well. Just click the supply list. You'll see everything I used, and you can order straight from there. Okay, it's time to put our cards together, so let's go. I do love this hand-penned paper. It is just one of my favorites. Okay, I've got one more. All right, those are done. It's time to bring in our cards. And remember, I told you these are pre-scored. So it's so nice. You don't even have to come in and do any more scoring, but you are going to want to come in with your bone folder and give each of these a nice crease. So let's go ahead. We'll get all of our card bases prepped. Our designer series paper is ready. Our cards are ready. But before we adhere anything, let's do some stamping. I'm going to be featuring Lovely You on my cards today. But guys, you probably have your favorite sentiment set. You use your favorite. I really like these fonts, and I really loved this little accent piece here. So we're going to use the Lovely You. And I've got two ink pad colors I'm going to feature on these cards, and that is Gorgeous Grape and Pool Party. I just wanted to really bring out, can you see just this little bit of pool party in this paper? And I thought that would be nice for the accent. So let's go ahead and bring in that Gorgeous Grape ink pad. There are 11 sentiments in this stamp set. You're going to pick your favorite 8. So I'm going to stamp down here at the bottom, Cherished Friend. And then this sweet little accent in the pool party, we're going to put up at the top and down here in the corner. Now I'm going to keep going. So there's Cherished Friend. Let's cheer you up. And now we're going to say wildly grateful. Love is what makes us family. And again, we're just adding our little accents. So I'm going to keep going with all my sentiments. And since I'm doing my stamping, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the tag that's going to go in the front of the box. And for that one, I'm going to say just because. And I want to stamp that right there in the middle of that fresh freesia. Putting the cards together couldn't be any easier. I am going to add adhesive to the back of all 8 of my squares paper. Let me get all of these added for you. All right, 8 cards are done. All right, so these are going to go along with 8 of the envelopes, and these can go inside our box. But let's decorate this up. This is a little too plain for me. So I'm going to take those out while I work. I have got that gorgeous mesh ribbon, and I'm going to tie this in a bow here in the center. Now remember, this box is delicate, so be sure you don't squish too hard. But here's a little tip. Why not get 3 ink pads and put inside there? It weighs the box down, kind of holds it a little bit, and gives you something firm inside. So, hey, you've got the ink pad sitting there. I know you do, so why not use them? All right, so we're going to tie that in a bow in the front and then kind of spread that mesh apart because we want a pretty bow. All right, I'm going to slide those ink pads out. And you want to kind of slide this up here a little more towards the top of the box. Now we're going to take that stamped sentiment and that piece of basic white. And I decided I'm going to use my banners build a punch, pick a punch, forgive me, pick a punch. And we want to punch this end. And you notice it's just going to slide right inside those little notches. So we'll push that in as far as it will go. And I'm going to flip it over because I do like to go ahead and make sure that I've gotten myself centered up inside there. So when I've got it, I'm going to give that a little punch because that little banner is just too pretty. Now, the basic white, we're going to do the exact same thing. And now I'm just going to adhere those together. So I'll just give myself a little bit of adhesive right there and adhere that together like so. Now to add it onto the box, we are going to use some mini glue dots. And what we want to do here is we want to add 1 to the back, and then we want to flip this over and we want to add 1 right here. So it's literally, I've got double-sided mini glue dots, and we're just going to put that right in so that those mini glue dots are touching the center of my bow. We take our gorgeous cards and put them inside. And my friends, you are ready for some gift giving. Isn't it so pretty? I just love it. Love this paper. What a great use of just 1 sheet of 12 by 12 designer series paper. And of course, with Christmas Think about using that Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper. Use your favorite. Oh my gosh, get creative and create lots and lots of different ones. And remember what I told you about the sentiments. You pick your favorite, but I have to tell you, I think Lovely You is a lovely stamp set. It's got so many different options, and I think that is a winner for sure. Guys, there we go. You are ready to create some really fabulous gifts using those wonderful note cards and envelopes. I so appreciate you guys joining me for today's masterclass. I look forward to sharing more DIY card giving ideas with you during the month of October 2021. So if you haven't subscribed, take a moment to click that great big red subscribe button so you'll be notified with my next video. And be sure to share with a friend as well. We always love having more of you join in on the fun here on my channel. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, I'd love a thumbs up on YouTube. So thank you very much for that. I look forward to stamping with you guys again soon. Make it a great day. Bye-bye.